Neo, Absolver, The Surge, Lords of the Fallen. All of these games tried to scratch a Souls-like itch that, in all honesty, we might not even get again. Until Dark Souls Remastered. So, in a not-so-populated market, how come this game always seems to fly under the radar when it comes to good Souls-like experiences? I'll admit, Salt and Sanctuary doesn't really have the best graphics. Now, I'm not saying the game looks bad. Stylistically, it fits right at home with the studio's previous titles, and in all honesty, I think the style is pretty charming. The graphics just aren't very smart. Shit will constantly blend into the background. Typically, it's things like levers, chests, and certain enemies. But at the same time, the scratchy aesthetic everything has really reinforces the tone this game's going for. It's twisted, irrational. No rhyme or reason to any of it. Sound like a pretentious artsy fuckface? Check-a-rooney. Salt and Sanctuary is by no means deep or complex in any way. Besides this dumb shit. But it is certainly competent in its execution. Its combat system, while simple, is still very gratifying. Combos can be initiated in mid-air, giving platforming more variety. Weapons have certain skill sets to encourage experimentation. You can beat enemies to a pulp long after they're dead. Hell, they even integrated the parrying system from Dark Souls. Come on, generic Dark Souls YouTuber, make a video on that shit. Joking aside, this dev team knew what they were doing. The overall level design is very Souls-esque, with each area almost seamlessly weaving back into one another. Much like Dark Souls and Bloodborne's level design, this game features shortcuts and secret resting areas closer to the bosses. All in all, I feel like SKA Studios has struck a nice balance between making their game setting its own, yet also making the same world feel like it might be a real place and not just some pocket dimension of insanity. Emphasis on might. Is that fucking Cthulhu? Sadly, Salt and Sanctuary doesn't feature any online PvP, but I honestly think that works towards the game's advantage. Follow me on this. Dark Souls is a massive game that requires hours of your time, and the PvP reinforces both the tone and the spirit of the game. On top of the fact it has a massive online community of dedicated players just waiting to see what kind of new, insane build they can test out next. Unless it's Dark Souls 3 and you can Fred Durst your way through every encounter. My point is, Salt and Sanctuary isn't as expansive, I guess? Basically, I feel like if Salt and Sanctuary had online PvP, it would come off as more of a bell and or whistle, rather than something the game actually needed. SKA Studios did a great job of staying within their limitations. They knew what they were capable of doing, they never got too ambitious, and they really worked with what they had. Not once did they try to reinvent the wheel with Salt and Sanctuary. They just made a good-ass wheel. So hop on over to the Steam store and for a measly $20, you'll get a Souls-like experience more solid than a Taco Bell shit.